everyone. I'm here with my mom, and we will be discussing the COVID-19 coronavirus and employment versus unemployment during this pandemic, or how it affects us individually. I'm Kelly, and I am unemployed currently.
Hi, I'm Mare. I'm the mom. I'm still employed.
How have you been dealing with it? Like, what are some of the pros and cons of this?
Well, I think it depends on in what context. But overall, I think because the U.S. didn't really take it very seriously initially, that I don't think that the rest of the U.S. really took it seriously. And so it took a while for people to get on board with the seriousness of it. And it seems to be mutating because it's like the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. You know, the guidance keeps changing. Of course, the guidance is going to change if you've got a virus that's mutating. So it's really hard to know what's real and not real, and what's truthful and not truthful.
So today is April 6th, and as of right now, there are 364,086 confirmed cases in the United States. That could have probably been prevented if our administration and the task force acted earlier. How have you been adjusting to the stay-at-home order?
My office was very quick to make a decision I was happy about. Initially, they had one person in our group would be there each day. We'd have one person in the office each day. And that lasted for a week. When they realized that it wasn't really that beneficial, I think they weren't sure whether the network, the equipment we were provided to work from home would really fulfill, our roles in completing our tasks as if we were in the office.
I am currently unemployed since I work in sports. There aren't sports going on right now at all. But I saw recently that a lot of the NBA players are doing they have this game called 2K, which is a basketball playing game, on the PlayStation 4 or whatever. So they've been doing I guess more of an esports type of deal, where they would play on and then stream it on ESPN, which is kind of cool.
NHL's doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, but anyway, I'm out of a job, so it's been a little rough, but been trying to do projects to keep me busy. I applied for unemployment. I have to apply for jobs each week. It's been a little rough on me, especially not having the income really anymore. How has it been not being able to go places whenever you wanted to?
The freedom of just going somewhere is
nice.
Yeah,
you take it for granted.
Right, you do take it for granted. I'm more of a homebody, so I'm not struggling maybe as much as someone else that likes to get out and about. I do like to go outdoors, so the whole social distancing of 6 to 10 feet seems to be working outdoors, but I've had to go to grocery stores, department stores, those type of things. I think they try to do the whole distancing, but it's a little more difficult because you have a goal in mind of, I need this, I need to get it. I mean, there's shortages on toilet paper, as you know. Yeah. There's shortages on cleaning supplies. So that's kind of difficult. So otherwise, I'm adjusting. I don't think it necessarily is hard on me as maybe someone else
Who's
you.
Extroverted.
Yeah, well, or that, you like to get out and about a lot more than I do.
That's true. I try to get outside every day, especially when it's nice, sunny today. So I went for a run. We like to go walk Luna, but with this whole tiger case in the Bronx Zoo, you never know now.
Yeah, with the animals.
Mutating.
Yeah, it's mutating. Yeah, because originally they didn't think animals could get this COVID-19.
Is it the same strain?
Well, they did call it COVID-19, so I'm not sure. I would think it would be in the family of the virus, but it sounds like it's mutating if it's jumped to animals.
How have you been adjusting to lack of seeing friends and family?
My mom is, she's 85 years old. And, I used to visit her at least once a week. She's in a assisted living area. So I would bring her things. I would help her with her iPad, make sure she just had things that made her comfortable. And that's been difficult.
Especially after her husband died.
Right, just
he was buried a month ago.
Right, it was over a month ago. Yeah, so that's been
hard on her.
It was very difficult on her because the whole stay-at-home order happened. I think it was like 2 days after the funeral for Maryland and D.C. The stay-at-home order for Virginia didn't happen until later.
Right, but thankfully her
assisted living,
they were on board. And
yeah, I think their stay-at-home order happened like 2 days after the funeral.
Back on March 9th, they took our temperatures, and we were like, wow, this is really getting serious. And I honestly didn't think it would get this bad, but it has. Yeah. For me, lack of seeing friends and family, technology has been really good. It hasn't really affected me like too much.
Do you think you're using social media or in tune with it more?
Yeah, I've been keeping up on Twitter with everything that's going on more so. I've been like looking at the amount of cases and amount of deaths every day. Like, that might not be the best thing, but I also try to avoid that in order to, just so you don't have to think about it. So it's like you try to keep yourself busy and, So how is like the adjustment from working in an office to working at home? How are you adjusting to like the environment?
The network you can tell when more people get on the network. Not a huge change. The clothing is different. I'm wearing, like shorts and a t-shirt or t-shirt and sweatpants, whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to dress up.
Yeah, and then I can make my tea at, my leisure. My routine has changed. But as far as the work environment, the network you can tell when more people get on the network because it slows down a lot. It almost looks like dial-up sometimes. So when that happens, I kind of take like a tea break just to step away for a little bit. I'm talking to people on the phone more than I ever have. We're in meetings, of course, more than we've ever been in meetings before because previously you could resolve a lot of issues face to face. You didn't need a whole meeting. We're now having daily meetings to kind of, make sure everyone knows what's going on. We're getting pandemic emails like almost daily. So I created a folder for that so that I could reference it if I needed to. Yeah, it's changed. We don't have video conferencing available right now. That makes it a little difficult when you can't see people and you get the whole nonverbal.
Oh, right.
You can't always. True. It feels. I mean, we've described our work days as Groundhog Day because your environment doesn't change. You feel like the whole work day just kind of melds into your evening. And you're just starting over again. The whole coming home and going to an office. I'd never say I like the commute. But I do like the ability to go somewhere else for a period of time to do work and then be able to come home. But melding them together has been unsettling. Yeah, it's exhausting.
So do you feel like when you were in the office, you felt like you had more sense of like a community?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what like a lot of people are missing. How have the distractions at home compared to like at work?
Yeah, so the distractions at home have more to do with the animals than people. I mean, it's nice to be able to just go down to the kitchen to make my, get some tea or water, or make my lunch. That's nice. But as far as distractions, no, not so much. I feel like I was more distracted in the office many times because people would stop by my office and say, hey, what's going on? The adjustment is definitely there. There's definitely an adjustment. I like both environments for different reasons. Yeah, I like the convenience of...
a good balance would probably be good.
Yeah, I mean, if I had half my day at home and half in an office, I think I would be just fine. A whole day in an office is just as tiring as a whole day at home in an office.
I mean, we may have to do that in the upcoming years and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I think the work environment as a whole will change.
Yeah, definitely.
At least for an office type. I mean, I know that they've already started changing grocery stores and how people have to operate in a grocery store. A limited number of people. They're having to say, okay, we have this many in a store, you're going to have to wait. So there are lines.
I think the workers at stores have gotten more on board with it than, like, the whole country. They've made adjustments to help their employees, to help the customers coming in. How are you dealing with coworkers? Do you feel like there's drama in the, in quotes, office?
No more than normal.
Okay.
I think, to me, my office, there's not a whole lot of drama.
Oh, well, that's good.
You know, but it is frustrating when you're trying to, you know how to do something, and before I would be, someone would say, I need help with the spreadsheet or something. And if they weren't just verbally me saying, do this or try that, verbally, oh, okay, well, let me just come to your office and we can sit down and do it together. That's not the way it is. And so we've been using Skype, to share a desktop. It's slower because network issues, but we can still operate that way. I think, like you were saying earlier, if we didn't have the technology that we have now, this would not be the same.
No.
I think it would be a heck of a lot worse. So we're adjusting to the way we have to operate. It's not always easy or intuitive, but eventually we get there. Like, right. I had someone today call me and said, I don't know what to do with this. And I've sent a PDF file of some instructions, and kind of typed up something, try this. And when we talked, it was, oh, okay, I get it now. Mm-hmm. If I hadn't shared the information, then it would have been more difficult to understand. I mean, it's still difficult. It's just that I would have been able to just go to her office and go, here, right. This is how you do it.
Just to walk down the...
Right, down the hall or whatever. Your daily life has changed considerably.
Oh, yes.
Since you lost your job because of sports. Hopefully sports come back soon. I mean, I know your routine has changed.
Yeah, my sleep schedule is completely switched. Like, I'm nocturnal, basically.
So you're just going back to infancy.
Yeah, I guess so. I've been trying to, take on projects to keep myself busy, Hopefully...
Like what kind of project?
Like making videos, making these podcasts, editing videos. Because, that's my major, so might as well make use of it, get some practice in while I'm not doing anything. I'm still applying for jobs.
So how does the change in your schedule make you feel? I mean...
I'm honestly very depressed. Yeah. As humans, we look to, have projects, and it just makes us feel like we're doing something with our lives, being productive and stuff like that. So I like being able to just having a job, having income. It just makes you feel like a productive member of society, Mm-hmm. So it's been an adjustment. It's been tough. I'm taking every day at a time, trying to get these projects, and I've put a bunch of my paintings online. I want to sell them just to make some extra money, get rid of space too.
What do you think about that whole idea of, do you feel like you have to clean up around you?
For some reason, I've kept since I'm not actively at work, and I don't I would be tired after I got off work and stuff like that. So it's not like I would clean up every week, I would rearrange everything once a week. But I've kind of, I'm not saying my room's spotless or anything, but my room has consistently stayed pretty, clean throughout. And mm-hmm. I tend to clean up, every day more so. Mm-hmm. Since I have time, because, I'm not, I'll have energy to actually do it. But, when I was working, I didn't really have the energy, so I would clean up at the end of the week kind of thing and stuff like that. So, yeah, I've noticed that, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I just want to get rid of things. I just want to streamline.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Do I feel like I want to get rid of things?
You want to streamline your life a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so. I think, I still have stuff from college that I should probably get rid of. I should take the time to do that. So, yeah, I think so. I think this whole, adjustment of everything will make mm-hmm. us want to get rid of stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Or maybe, for me, just see the value in people more than things.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're not seeing very many people.
No, you value the people more. Mm-hmm. During this. And
mm-hmm.
then when we would go out for walks and stuff, I've noticed that a lot more people have they'll say hi to you and stuff like that, which is really weird because you're supposed to be social distancing.
Yeah.
But people actually have like a sort of conversation with you, because like in the past we would
just walk right by each other.
Right by each other. I guess it's like everyone's kind of like coming together as a community and stuff like that. So
yeah, because you're inside all the time, and then when you're outside and you see people, it's like
you're like, oh my god, wow. We're like dogs here.
Yeah.
Like, is that a dog?
Yeah.
Is that a person? Yes. How do you feel about the lack of PPE for medical personnel? Like, is there anything that the government should do like to provide that?
Yeah, I remember in my office at the time, I think it was 2008, 2009, they were preparing us for a pandemic. And
wow.
Yeah, and what should we do? And they were just trying to prepare, get our mindset to prepare. It's not like there was a whole lot of technology. I mean, there was still technology available, but
yeah. Probably not to the extent of
not to the extent of it is now.
That was like, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they still had, you could work from home. They had video conferencing. They had those things, but maybe not at the scale that they had to come up with for this. So I do remember that because we would go to meetings where they would discuss it. So I think years ago we were planning and all of a sudden we're not. I mean, they had a huge pandemic in 1918 to 1919. And that should be, I mean, history is important.
History repeats itself, it's shown.
You know, it's almost 100 years.
Yeah.
It's a little over 100 years that it's going to probably be at the same levels or close to it. So I just think at a federal level, they should have prepared better. You know, the United States are 50 states, you could call them 50 countries, because they all have their own government. I think sometimes they don't take it seriously. I mean, Bill Gates in 2016, I think, had a TED Talk talking about pandemics and how the U.S. government was ill prepared. I mean, it's the writing's been on the wall for a long time, but you really need leadership to be able to kind of corral all of the different states and territories so that you can collectively prepare. And I mean, they had stockpiles of the PPE.
Personal protective equipment.
The federal government has stockpiles of it. What happened? It all goes down to logistics. And someone said this is like a war. The military plans for wars. They have what they call a battle rhythm. They know, you know, logistics has to do this. We've got to have the medical community doing that. You've got to have transportation. You have to have all of these things. And a pandemic should have happened in the same mindset.
Right. You're supposed to prepare.
Yeah, you're supposed to prepare.
Yeah.
And it just, to me, it just didn't. It seemed like the different government agencies, the CDC, the WHO, which is for the World Health Organization, that's outside the U.S. I mean, it's a global thing. But you've got the Surgeon General. You have the Health and Human Services. It's almost like these groups didn't talk to each other.
Right.
Which I find very strange, because even though I work for the Army, we work with a whole bunch of different organizations within the Army. We're not in this stovepipe. And I just think it was just very chaotic. I don't understand how it happened like this. Because, you know, I've worked for the Army for over 35 years, and the Army is always
very prepared,
Yeah, they're prepared in whatever they do. When you work at different levels, you do see the chaos behind it. Until you have leadership that kind of corrals it, or a program manager or someone that corrals the whole idea and is able to progress. So I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it happens all that quickly, but my experience is this has been unorganized and chaotic.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of people who previously are designers and stuff like that. They've stepped up and made masks from like some of their materials they use and stuff like that, which is really cool, you know, to help. I know they're definitely not helping. They probably wouldn't help like medical personnel, but they would definitely help, you know, like just like everyday Americans like walking about, because you know the CDC is now. Are they requiring you to wear a mask, or like they're just suggesting you to wear a mask like whenever you go out and stuff like that? Right?
Yeah, they usually provide guidance.
Okay,
and
there you go.
Their guidance is, if you're not within 6 feet, you should be wearing some sort of protective mask.
Right.
And you know, since they want the medical grade PPEs for the medical community.
Which I completely understand.
Yeah.
You know, because they're the ones
Right.
that are in that.
In that, I mean, they're like one of the doctors who was previously in the military as a doctor. She said this is worse than she's ever experienced.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these nurses, doctors, they're gonna need therapy after this.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, so like I went on my run earlier today, and this lady covered her mouth when she was around me, and I was like, oh my god, that's so rude. But like, 'cause we were actually like really close because we were on the sidewalk, and I tried to walk a little farther away. She literally like put her shirt up, but you just have to think, you know, like, I mean, I understand she was an older lady, so do I stink?
Yeah, like went on our walk and you have a mask on. I had sunglasses on. You don't see people, you can't see if someone's smiling, if someone's angry, because if you have sunglasses, you can't see their eyes.
That's a
So
big
it's,
boy.
yeah, it's a little disheartening to see people in masks. I mean,
It
just
is.
everyday Americans.
Right.
It's
yeah,
a
it is
very
little-
strange.
Yeah, so I hope everything works out.
Yeah,
You know, I hope they all come to an agreement.
to figure this out.
Yeah. I
And
really hope.
change our new normal, as they say.
I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks everyone for listening. I will probably be doing more podcasts coming up soon, so look out for that. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.